Alright, welcome everybody. This is my first review of Road Grand Tours. Normally I ride on Zwift. I like that platform a lot. It's got some good racing, got good group rides, it's got varied terrain, a lot of people, so I do like it. But to be fair, I have to give everything a shot. I did BKool about a month ago, and I used to ride BKool periodically. The graphics are about equal to what you're seeing here, so pretty darn good. BKool's platform is wildly not user-friendly. You have to log onto the website, pick your course, unless you use one that's already in there. Something's already on in the app. You can't pick where you want to start from. So if you pick an 80-kilometer course, you got to do the whole thing. And it's kind of difficult to do the group events. But let me see, one adjustment here. I'll have to play with that later. But so that was the issue I had with BKool. The difference I have here with Road Grand Tours, it's again really good graphics. Part of it I think is just because I'm by myself, more or less. There's no one on with me. It's just two routes, a Stelvio Pass and one in Mallorca. Yeah, great if like today I actually did want to do a little climbing, so it's not a big deal. But if I didn't want to climb, you're kind of screwed. There's not much choice, which is a bit problematic. And to be honest with you, the scenery's cool. This isn't a ride I'm gonna want to do 3 times a week, 4 times a week, unless I'm training for this ride, or something very similar. Then now, to be fair, this is an alpha test, so we cannot expect it, or it's alpha test mode, so we can't expect it to be a fully developed product. But at the same time, it has been out and available for riding since October, November timeframe, I guess. I guess November is when I first got the invite. Today's the first time I got on it. So, I don't know how far they've come in, 6 months or so, but based on the videos I've seen, it doesn't look too much different. I'm sure they've done quite a bit. These guys have a hard job. Data-wise, looks good. I mean, it tells me my speed, my distance, the amount of climbing I've done, the grade I'm on, the distance to the top, my time, my watts, heart rate, cadence. You can see on the bottom the fluctuating up and down of my power. That looks like it's got the basis of a workout program built into it. Possibly. The big limit factor right now for me, limiting factor, definitely see that I don't really see a means to join with anybody. So that's kind of disappointing. And there's really not many people on here. I'm not going hard by any stretch, and the only ones I've seen are bots. So I kind of either expect to be caught and passed by someone, or possibly even catch and pass someone. And when I did catch a bot, there was no attempt by the bot to ride with me or lift pace or anything, so definitely not a smart bot. So the interface for the kicker seems to work rather well. Next time I do this, I'll go from start to finish, log in and everything, but here we have the way you can get to the menu on this. You hit escape. Get back over to it, hold on. Hit escape, menu drops down. You can tell what devices you want for power, heart rate, cadence, smart trainer or not. You can tell how hard you want the slope intensity to be. So right now I'm actually riding at 64% of real life, what it would be. Again, it's because I'm not trying to push today. And I've played around with it a little bit. I had it up at 78 before, down at 50 just to see what it looked like. They do have Save to Strava built in. Does not have Training Peaks or any of the other software platforms for recording your ride data. You can see these are all the commands you have. The escape, so open, close the menu. Spacebar is turnaround, which is chunky. I'll show you in a minute. The toggle interface, that just takes my data away or not, and it puts it back on. There's two camera views. The follow camera, which you see, and the first person view. I mean, that's good. I'm sure they're going to build more into it, but it's kind of plain to just have those two. I'd like to see what's out on the side maybe, or what's coming from behind me. I'll give them some commentary. Overall, the base platform seems pretty good. I don't feel any lag or problem with the interface between the power meter, the trainer, and the computer like I did on BKool. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to give this one another 15 minutes here today. Like I said, easy ride, just 30 minutes. And then I'll give it a longer go in about a week or two, when I'm actually going to work hard. The other thing I noticed is my guide does not ever seem to change, so let me drop my RPMs here. So on Zwift, when I drop my RPMs or do a huge effort, the guy will come out of the saddle. I know that's not really a big deal, but it kind of adds to the realism of it. And if I do a surge, no change. So, still bugs that we worked out there, or just things to make the user interface of the platform a little more realistic or engaging. Oops, hit this bar. Like if I'm looking to climb, yeah, this is a good workout. The only, so you can see the Strava has their segments built in too, so I'll get to see how poorly I did compared to everybody else on this Strava segment. So I'm looking at just some climbing. This isn't bad, because that's a pretty good steady climb. There's not a lot of flat on this. The courses that they do have available, there's two of them, Stelvio Pass and Mallorca. Both are climbing, so if you're not looking to climb, this ain't for you. So, you got to take that into consideration. Fortunately, my next race has got a lot of climbing, so I'll be doing a lot of climbing, but I don't know how much I want to. We'll see how I want to do these. Most of what I'm doing for tries is going to be steady hard, but I can practice on this. But I could easily just as well practice on the Zwift KOM. That's just a lot more steady. Fewer changes as far as up and down goes when I'm doing that KOM, but there's some. This is interesting though. I'm not opposed to this platform if they can do some small things to make it a little bit more appealing. One, get more people, which I know that's easier said than done. But two, you know, make it a lot so you can join in with people. I know Zwift didn't have an event module right away, so I can't expect them to have something like that, but still looking at their competitors, they're going to have to add that quick once they go live. Graphics, you can't, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better on the scenery graphics in the road. The rider is kind of weak. If we looked at, the rider and bike's kind of weak. Again, I can't see any views from the side. There's no customization. Looks like he's got a Devo helmet. Hey, thanks Sword for hosting. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm doing a review or checking out another platform called Road Grand Tours. So our buddy Sword and Keyboard there is one of our big ODZ followers. He gets to watch Justin Wagner crush it all the time. You can see right there, it was probably just a bot that passed. Yeah, so this is one of those, it's a little different platform, it's new, it's still in alpha testing. You can see the graphics aren't as good as far as the rider goes. The graphics on the scenery are pretty great. There's only 2 courses, so right now I believe I'm riding the Stelvio Pass in Italy, going towards Cap Formentor. So if you watch the Giro d'Italia, you'll see this coming up this year. Yeah, like I said, graphic-wise, it's great. All the data is good. The interface between the hardware and the platform seems good. I'm not having any dropouts. There's just nobody on except me. There's no mechanism to ride with anyone who was on. I couldn't see him on. And you're limited to 2 views. That's the second one. That's actually pretty cool right here, though. That dude's taking the turns pretty hard. I agree, competition is very good, and I would like to see this one come around. There's another platform called BKool that's a good platform. It's very similar to this, but they've just completely hosed up the ability to do events, pick your course. They have more courses, and you can submit courses for a 3D visualization of it, but you have to go to their website to pick the course, then open the app, and you can do it that way. You can't just do it. I can't just sign on and go and pick. And it's the same with picking events and creating leagues. It's not a very good platform. And the customer service, they tried to be helpful, but they really weren't. When I finally figured out what the issue was, it took me to figure it out, about number of people in a league and things like that. And if they didn't even bother to ask those questions or look. Plus the hardware to software, I found a lot of lag and drop. But this one I think has some potential. I just don't know what it's like when you have other riders around you. What kind of trainer did you end up getting? So it said he hadn't been able to get his trainer to work with his bike. Oh crap, the truck's parked there. And my first trainer was a Minora Mag 850. It's a dumb trainer. The Cubo Elite. Yeah, so that's good. I mean, if you can get it to work, the next one to work with your bike, it'll be awesome. You're gonna have a lot of fun. Just try not to ride with Wags for a little bit. I know from this weekend it's very painful. All right, so we just actually went downhill, now we're transitioning back uphill, and I'll tell you, it was a pretty good transition on the kicker. The computer did change resistance pretty quickly, so that's definitely a bonus. Still all by my lonesome. Got Sword to keep me company, but only bots on the course. One of the positives of this one, you never know. If you do the What's Up with Power ride with him, you know, you can ride with him. It'll be hard at first, and then it'll get a little easier, then a little easier, and so forth. But, yeah, it's not about you being able to ride with him right now. It's just, do you get stronger over time? I know you'll be able to do that, especially after all the experience you've been having watching. You have a lot more of a background than anyone else starting from scratch. Trust me, the things I did when I was a beginner, I don't know how I'm alive. Yeah, I mean, the detail they put into the programming and the graphics on this, I mean, it's amazing. The leaves, in particular, I think that's pretty impressive. So how long do you think it is before you get your trainer in? That's like the detail they did on the road. This looks really good. Yeah, that's just shadows, the sun glare. The detail on the cracked roads, it's kind of a crappy road surface. I mean, that's exactly what you're gonna get on these mountain roads in Italy. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Like I said, I'm super impressed with their graphics. We just need to work on getting more people on it, figuring out how to do that interaction. They do have a chat interface, so I can put it in. Don't know what it says. No weird service. Huh. You might be surprised going to one of the older mag ones. Does it just have a bolt with a nut on the back for the skewer instead of the quick release? Because I know, like one of my wife's bikes, it's just got two nuts on either side, so it's not really good for a trainer. But my old trainer, I think, would have worked on it, depending how far that bolt sticks out. For some reason my hamstring's giving me a little bit of problems today. Means I'm getting old because I think I tweaked it sleeping. Okay, so if it's got the bolt-on ones, you definitely have to look for an older one. What do I got here? Bot passing me? Holy crap. Jump on him real quick, see what happens. Yeah, with those bolt-on wheels, the non-quick release one, check into the menorahs, because mine I can remove the caps that would go flush against the skewer. So you might just be able to bodge it a little bit. Well, this guy's pretty much hammering. You might be able to bodge it a little bit and create something that would go flush against it. with some padding and lock it in there tight. So I can't tell if I have a draft effect or not. And he seems to be accelerating. Oh, this is the start for the next climb? Dang, you kidding me? Next segment, uphill sprint. Let's see if the computer comes back. Nope. That's disappointing. Now he passed me. He's just riding a steady, but it seems like the bots ride a steady pace, or maybe it's steady wattage, I don't know. There was a program, probably still exists, called Tour de Giro. They didn't do a very good job of updating it, but they had smart AIs, or smart bots, just call them AIs, and they had personalities. So the ones who were hillmen, they obviously pushed harder on the hills. In the flats, they dialed it back. They had guys called Sergis who they'd go for 30 seconds above, kind of just doing over-unders until their energy was used up. You had wheel suckers who would, their job was just to sit on your wheel and try to take you in the sprint. And then helpers who would try and get out front and pace you. It's definitely an interesting concept. BKool tried to implement something like that, but basically they're all set at your, related to your FTP. So if you want to have a decent ride that day, maybe with some, not going super hard, just kind of maybe a chill ride, but have a little bit of interplay, you couldn't do it because you'd have to go into the computer, but you have to make all these adjustments to them, and go back into the app and ride it. And then the next time you then adjust them all back to whatever you had them set before. Whereas in Tour de Giro, you just set their wattage range, and they played in with that, which I found was pretty easy. It definitely made racing by yourself on that fun, because you could put up to 80 of those bad boys in there, and they have a broad spectrum of capabilities along the range you put in. And the tighter of a shot group you did on the range, the tighter the group would stay together, making it much more realistic of a race. Yeah, so you could throw 80 guys on there and put them all bracketed around your FTP within 10%. And then the first couple minutes of race would always be a little bit easier. Then after that, the gas would get put on, and you had to actually pay attention, because the computer would attack off the front. Because the AIs didn't just react to you, they reacted to each other too. So if a Sergi went off, a wheel sucker would try and go chase him. But it was fun because you could practice setting up like bridging, and you could let a group go off the front. And I'd get a couple friends on and we could chase down groups, work tactics, things like that. Sounds good. Gotta eat your breakfast. Gotta make it. I actually made mine already. It's in the fridge. It's gonna get thrown in the backpack shortly, and then go to work with me. I only got 5 minutes left anyways. I'm still coming off of a big race a little over a week ago, so I'm kind of taking my little break from training before I start my next 12-week cycle to train up for the next one. Unlike Wagner, I don't race 2 or 3 times a week because mine are all long races. Not bright enough yet outside. Good thing is it's raining out, so traffic should be light, slow. And when I ride my bike in it, I'll be alright. Holy crap, 19% average climb here. Let's see what this does. 19%, not gonna be fun. It's actually fitting. I've got the Verve Bittersweet Symphony going on while I'm doing this climb. I don't know why it says 19% average in the Strava segment. I haven't hit 19 yet. We're at 6, peaked out in the teens, but maybe that was just the max. You got me in a 700 watt kitchen stereo. That's probably way too much me for one person this early in the morning. That wasn't too hard of a climb. I could have done that in big gear. So for the last 2 minutes of the ride, we're gonna turn around. You can see the difference there stored on the turns in Zwift Vice here. But it's still a lot better. BKool, you can't turn around. What I do like on this from the start, which I'll show next time I pull this one up, you can use the slider anywhere along the course to tell it where you want to start. So you can start on a climb, a descent, a little bit of flats that there are. Let's see, a 700 watt kitchen stereo. When I hit the uphill, let me see if I can generate 700 watts. So at least it's fitting. Yeah, no, I hear you. I do the same thing with my speaker in my own kitchen. Not quite 700 watts, but... Alright, let's go. It's gonna be getting to 700 for sword. Alright. I got just a little more than your stereo. Of course, that's nothing compared to the big sprinters, but one of the little sprinters in the, I want to say it was a Giro. Might have been Caleb Ewan. He's a small guy, but he did 13 or almost 1,400 watts peak and 950 watts, 18-second average. or 18 second at 950 watts average. Alright, brother, I appreciate you tuning in. Unfortunately, it's time for me to head to work. This doesn't pay the bills. And I gotta keep the legs recovering. Enjoy your day. I know Wags will be up here shortly. So, and I know you're gonna tune into that. I'll see you next time. I'll be running tomorrow at 6:15 a.m. if you wanna watch me just suffer like a dog. That should always be fun. Alright, talk to you later. Alright, so that's my quick recap of my first Road Grand Tours ride. Still kind of a bigger fan of Zwift, but I do like this. It does have some good climbs. You have to see what it looks like when you can get a group on. That's going to be interesting to see what happens. This definitely has some rolling terrain. I do have to say that my preferred view is that, especially when descending. Going hard around the corners. The graphics are pretty darn amazing. I think that's pretty good. I think right now we're just hurting on numbers, being able to start with someone, and just seeing what that interaction is. I don't know what the draft is because I rode by myself the whole time, and nothing indicated to me when I was behind the bot whether I was getting a draft. So those are a couple of key things, or a couple small things, and I'll write them up and send them to Road Grand Tours. But overall, I'm impressed with where they are for alpha. Obviously, they could be much further along and just still calling this alpha. But I think it's definitely a great first start. We'll see how it goes. So that's it for me today. Thanks a lot for watching and tuning in. And I'll be on tomorrow morning riding or doing the OD Zwifters Runners edition, doing some 2-minute surges. So that should be fun. All right, take it easy. Have a great week.